What's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me okay?
Perfect. Yeah, I hear you very clearly.
Awesome. I have my earbuds in. I think you just put yours in.
Yeah. Under the
And
hair.
they are a game changer when
Yeah,
we do
right?
these workouts.
Yeah, I'm like literally using like the first generation of these, and they're amazing because I can't find my other ones. But the backups are just as good. All right, so everybody, this is Sarah. She is a trainer in New York City. We've been friends for a while now.
Yeah,
I think since
couple
I
of
moved to
years.
Austin, so about like 2.5 years.
Wow.
And she's absolute badass. We're honestly into the same stuff. I'd say pretty much. She's like mobility badass, kettlebell beast, loves to lift weights too. You like CrossFit too a little bit, right? Sometimes you dabble.
Yeah, I coach CrossFit, but like my roots are like unconventional tools first. And then my second love would be barbell.
Just
So
when you
I do a
grab
mix.
onto it.
Yeah, I definitely a mixture of both, and I've found like with my own training, like if I solely stick with the barbell, like my joints just start getting a little angry. So I try and keep
Same.
a balance of unconventional tools as well as conventional tools.
And you're a dancer too, right? You have dancer background?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. I was gonna say that. So we have like that training and in common, but then also coming from a dance background. And I think having that background, just knowing how to move, and basically we've been moving our entire lives, so has really helped translate to the coaching side of knowing and understanding how people's bodies move and the how to get them to move the most efficient way. So I think that's another thing that we both share in common, and that's why we kind of like hit it off right away.
For sure. And you're
sharing
awesome
those
too.
passions. You're awesome as well. And just, I like to keep a circle of strong, badass women in my circle. Awesome.
Yeah.
So, I think is that everything?
Yeah. Are you ready to get started, man?
I am. I guess we should just, I think everyone knows this, but any kind of weighted object will help, will work. Annie's going to take us through a warm-up, and then we have 3 blocks of work. It's all like timed intervals, so who's ever leading that, we got you. We'll make sure that we keep the time going. And now that's pretty much all that people will need to know, I believe.
All right, so start your fitness watches if you forgot to, like me. So set it, and let's get ready. All right, so we're going to do a quick little warm-up. Let me make sure I just don't want to get too cut off here, so I'm adjusting this.
It's always when they go into the split screen, you're like, wait a second, I got to adjust. Okay, I think we're in frame.
So we're going to start with the hips, all right? So we're going to drive our hips with soft knees here. So Sarah has a little better view of the knees. Nice soft knees. We're going to drive our hips all the way to the left and then all the way to the right. So trying to stretch out the glutes, the side of the hips, maybe a little hammy if you're tight on the hamstrings. If you're tight on the low back, you might feel it there. So we all hold tension differently. So we're just going to start at the hips, side to side. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to bring our hips into a full circle. So we're going to come back into full extension of the hips, all the way back onto the other side. And then we're going to drive our hips forward, driving into the 2 corners and the side. So imagine you're inside a barrel, and you're trying to touch your hips to all the sides of the barrel, and you're squeezing your booty.
When I do this, Francesca, I think of like also scraping peanut butter jar, like getting the end.
Yeah. And switch directions. Yeah, you're in that peanut butter jar trying to get every little bit.
Hey, Eric, I see you back there getting swole, man.
He'll be in and out. He's going on a run. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to come up into the spine. So we're going to keep it nice and simple first with just some extension and flexion. Extension and flexion. See if you can try to isolate that upper back, middle back. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to come side to side. We're going to reach. So we're going to reach sideways, trying to open up your lats. So we're lengthening those arms See, Sarah's arms are nice and straight. So keep those arms lengthened. Think about lengthening through your spine as you reach laterally. So get tall here. All right. So we did extension, flexion. We did lateral work. Let's get a little bit of rotation in the spine. So we're going to go into a backstroke. So we're going to channel that inner swimmer. I want you to bring your arms as far apart as you can. So one arm is reaching up into the ceiling. One arm is reaching into the ground. So your arms are going to go as far apart. So you're trying to pull your arms apart as we come into a backstroke. It's getting hot over here, so I can't wait till we can actually like backstroke in the water. But there's so many people. It's kind of crazy.
That's so nice. It's still like hoodie weather today, right now.
Really?
In New York, yeah.
Oh. I'll trade you because it's humid. I'm like, I think I was wishing for it too soon. And then forward stroke. Whew. All right, team. Let's come up into the neck just real quick. So for the neck, we're going to look over our right shoulder and our left shoulder. So you're pulling your neck back. So you're trying to almost do like a little double chin as you're rotating through the neck. We're going to come forward and back with the neck. For all of us that spend a lot of time on the phone or texting or in weird positions, this is the one we need the most.
Mhm.
I feel it. I'm guilty.
Yep. Always like warming up, like doing these movements or like any joint by joint. I'm like, you don't really need that. Just jump right in. And I'm like, no. Every time before I start training, and then as you go through, you're like, yes, you did. You needed
this. 5 minutes.
Yep.
All right, team. We're gonna hit the shoulders real quick. So I'm gonna give you a little closer view so y'all can see. So for this exercise, if you haven't done it before, we're thinking about trying to wring out a towel with our shoulders. All right. So as one arm is internally rotating, you're flipping that palm over up towards the ceiling. So if you look at Sarah's arms, she's like trying to reach with her shoulder over towards her chest. So she's reaching, turning her arms in opposite directions. So that's where you're going to get a lot of that release. Really trying to twist as deeply as you can through those tissues. All right, team? All right, let's hit the wrists real quick. So let's just go into a nice little wrist wave. We're not going to spend too much time on the floor today, but want to just keep those wrists nice and healthy for us modern folk that are always on our phones. All right, team. Shake that out. Let's get a little bit more active. We're going to finish up this warm-up. We're going to come into some Tootsie Rolls, team. So for these, let me adjust this camera real quick. We're going to go into a hinge position, and we're going to keep the feet flat at first. Man, Sarah has a way better view than I do. So watch Sarah on this. She's going to keep her feet flat as we're going to bring our knees inwards, forward, out, and back. So it's kind of like that hip circle where you're trying to draw a circle as wide as you can with that joint. But the goal here is to not let your feet collapse. So Sarah's going to make sure that the arches of her feet are staying like with integrity, all right? So let's switch that direction. So we're going to go in this opposite direction for a couple more reps, and then we're going to put the ankles, or we're going to incorporate the ankles into this. So for this next set, what we're going to do is we're going to trail the edges of our feet. So since Sarah has a way better view, as she comes inside, she's going to trail onto the inner edges of her feet. As she comes forward onto the balls, as she comes out onto the edges, and so forth. Back onto the heels, in onto the inner blades, forward, out, and back. So remember, only go as far as you can into your range of motion, right? We're prepping our nervous system, prepping those tissues. You always want to go within your capacity, all right? That's how we get better at these. And if you train with me, that's why we always do these, because they're badass and we love them. All right, Sarah, feeling warm?
Yep, feeling good.
Let's do it.
Awesome. All right, guys, so transitioning. So we have 3 different blocks of work, and it's going to be timed movement. So you're doing 30 seconds of movement 1, 10 seconds to transition, 30 seconds of movement 2. For those first 2 movements, guys, we want to focus on if it's a strength piece, hitting a full range, and even going at a moderate pace. All right, so we're not looking for a sprint. Your third movement, 30 seconds, it is max effort. So we want you to count your reps Say if I get 10 reps in my first set, when we go into set 2 of 4, I'm going to start counting 11, 12, so on and so forth. And so after those 4 steps, we're going to ask you guys, what was your max effort of that movement?
So we have to count, right?
So we do have to count.
Okay, making sure.
We are holding you guys accountable. First 2 movements, don't worry so much about. And
awesome.
I'll be using, actually I have dumbbells too. First movement is a bent over 2-handed row. So you're going to send your hips back. We did this in the warm up. And then you want to keep an open, proud chest, but the weight should be back in your heels. Like if we get tired, I like to find myself in this position trying to catch my breath. That's exactly where you want to be with a tight core. From here, I'm going to reach down for my handles so my thumbs are pointing forward. You're going to pull your elbows back, bringing your weight just to the mid-ribs. Gorgeous. If you have a dumbbell, you'll just hold it like so. All right, 30 seconds. Second movement, guys, will be some floor work. So you're going to be down into a quadruped position. You want your feet close to your hands. So I've just created a square. I'm going into a kick through. That is option 1. I drop my back heel, thread my leg forward. Hips can be down, and you want to pull that elbow back so you feel tension in your back or your shoulder. Recover. So this is option 1 with our hips down. Option 2, hips will float, foot is floating. Option 3, guys, you're going to give me 2, so it'll be 1, 2, donkey kick. On the donkey kick, you want to think of crunching up into a little ball so your thighs are close to your stomach. We're not going into any handstands, nothing crazy like that. So that is second movement. Third movement. Max effort, so you got to count your reps for your sprawl. You're going to squat down. Option 1, step back, chest is lifted, hips are down, step up, stand up. Option 2, I want to see a little bit more power. I jump back, chest is up, then jump up. You can also do any variation in between that. I'm going to be going back and forth, not doing a lot of jumping, because I'm on the 12th floor and I want my neighbors to like us at the end of this. So 30 seconds of work, guys, 10 seconds rest. We're doing 4 rounds before we get any kind of break. All right, give us a thumbs up emoji if you're ready to go. It starts with that bent, boom. It starts with that bent over row, guys. We're going to go in 5, 4, 3, 2, bent over row. Let's hit it, guys. So this is your strength piece. There should be slow, controlled movements. Keep your eyes forward and down so we keep the weight. So we keep that chest facing forward. We have just 10 seconds, guys, 10 seconds. Get a few more reps in. Holding it at the top. Time under tension when we build strength. 3, 2, shake it out, guys. 10-second rest. Then we go into those kick throughs. I gave you a lot of options. We go 30 seconds. In 5, 4, 3, 2, go, guys.
Get it.
So kick through. You can keep with that movement, or you can add that donkey kick. You want those fingers spread wide. And keep pressing into the floor. We got just 10 seconds.
Get it, team. Keep on breathing. 3, 2, and time. I'm like out of breath already, and it's that one's not even done yet. So you got it.
Turn that intensity up, guys. We have our sprawls for max effort in 3, 2, 1. Hit it.
Remember, team, count. See how many you got on these.
We're going to ask after these 4 rounds, guys. We'll be waiting for your scores. Again, you do not need to jump. You can stand up at the top. 10 seconds, guys. Keep it moving. You're such a savage. In 3, two.
Trying
Shake
to
it out,
channel
guys.
my breath.
Oh, shake it out, shake it out. Going into round 2 of 4. In 5, start with those bent over rows. 3, 2, 1, guys. Work. So again, hips are back. You're spreading the floor apart with your feet. You always want to create a strong foundation. Squeezing your shoulder blades. We have just about 10 seconds.
Pull in those abs, team. No saggy bellies.
Nope. And 3, 2, shake it out, guys. You're going back down to the floor. This is kind of awesome with like people at home. You now have like 2 coaches right now. We're going to make you work just a little bit harder.
Just a little
In
bit.
3, 2, 1, guys. Choose your poison on this movement. We both will be alternating between levels. If you're going into that inversion, you want to stay tucked into a little ball. 10 seconds. We have 5, 4, 3, 2, shake it out, shake out those shoulders, shake out those wrists. We're going back into our max effort. So again, you're adding to your reps that you just did. In 3, 2, 1, pick up that intensity, let's go.
Remember, squeeze those glutes. Keep those abs tight here too. That's how you keep your back safe, team. So you always want to have that integrity in your movement. Only go as far as you can control. Moving cat. I think that's 17.
I get quiet at this one because I cannot keep track of my reps.
And time.
Time. Rest. All right, guys.
22.
22. Nice. Going into round 3, guys. So we're halfway. We should be more familiar with the intensity, with the work that's coming up. Back to that bent over row, guys. In 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's get after it, guys. Hit it. Making your movements smooth, making them as efficient as possible. So really focusing on our back. But like Francesca said, you want to keep your midline, keeping your core, your abdominals stiff. Less than 10. Making those reps count. 3, 2, 1. Rest. Sometimes I find the 30 seconds to go by very slow or very fast. All right.
Just slow on some of these.
Let's hit the floor. And 3, 2, and work, guys. For this movement, the more tension you create into the floor, the better. So you want to keep that chest open, staying out of that shoulder.
Love that, Sarah. Yeah, guys. So here you always want to think about pushing yourself away from the floor. Think about trying to create space in those joints, like Sarah was saying.
Yeah, and we got just 3, 2, 1. Shake it out, guys. 10 seconds rest, and we go into that max effort. So we're adding. Francesca, you got 20-something?
22.
22, so we'll go 23. And 3, 2, 1, guys. Here we go.
Yeah, I keep getting like 11 each round, so I'll stay there.
Nice. Okay, that seems good.
27.
Again, you do not need to jump. We want you moving at your intensity, whatever is appropriate for you. Just be honest with yourself. We have 10 seconds. And then we go right into that last set. And 3, 2, 1. All right, guys, take a breather.
Where you at?
We go in last set, and then you'll get a longer recovery and I'm going to turn it back to Francesca. I can't even talk right now. Okay.
How many sprawls did you get?
I lost count. I was going off your count. So we have just one more round. One more round, bent over rows. Francesca, are you still with?
I'm with you.
Okay, let's go. or we can move on. No, let's get one more round in, guys. Last set. Make it your best one.
We got it.
Here we go. Slowing it down, 30 seconds. When we think about it, it is not a long time. Right now, we just want to focus on staying mentally strong as well, trusting your body can get through this. And then we move on. You have 15 seconds, guys. Final 5 already. 5 seconds. 3, 2. Shake it out, guys. Shake it out. All right, 2 more movements. 2 more.
This workout is good.
Yeah, I'm feeling it for sure. All right, guys, let's go in 5, 4, 3, 2. You guys know what's up. You can go fast, or if you really slow it down, it actually makes it to be a little bit harder. Sometimes speed doesn't actually mean an increase in our intensity.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. We got 10 seconds, guys. Hold tight, hold tight. And 3, 2, and shake it out, guys. Shake it out. Shake out those wrists. Final 30 seconds, and then we are moving on. Max effort of sprawls. In 3, 2, and let's go, guys. Good work, good work. Keep it going, guys. We're going to look for those numbers. You have just 15 seconds left. Less than 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, guys. Rest. Grab some water. All right, as you're grabbing water, send us your total work capacity. So how many reps did you get of that third movement? And then if you are also
49.
How many did you get? 49. Nice. If you are still with us, also send us 53.
Dang.
All right, they're all working. You're all working, you savages. Okay.
Savage. In the 60s, nice. We got 40, 60, 47, 54. Y'all aren't playing, man. Y'all are competitive.
Nice.
I see you. Low-key
Nice.
competitive quarantine workouters.
Yeah. All right, Francesca, what do we have coming up?
All right, I'm going to take a little sip.
I found doing these home workouts, like I'm doing more with participants. Normally coaching, we only do like maybe 50%, 40%, and now it's like 100% in coaching and doing.
Yeah, you got to give it your all. So I want to know what weight you're using, Sarah. I'm using 8 kilo.
18 kilo.
Damn, Sarah. All right,
I'm switching it to a 14 kilo for the next movement, though.
So on this one, team, we're going to do 3 rounds, and it's going to be the same format, so 30-10. All right, team? So on this one, the first move we're going to do is we're going to do a clean. You can do a 2-hand or single arm if you want. Sarah and I are going to stick with single arm, and then we're going to do a lateral lunge. So you're going to clean up the weight, and you're going to step towards the weight. All right? Did you want to do opposite or towards, or you don't care, Sarah?
Doesn't matter. Whatever you want to do, girl.
Let's do towards the weight, because that's what we're doing, all right? And then we're gonna do downward dog, plank, rotational plank.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna do a downward dog in between each side.
That's nice.
So downward dog, switch sides. And then we're gonna do a split jump. So this is for sure an advanced movement, team. So I want y'all to think about trying to create power. So we're gonna load that jump, and go for max effort. So we're gonna load our hips. So I'm gonna use a hinge. All right. So we're gonna hinge at the hips. We're gonna jump into a split jump. Try the split jump. All right, team. The goal is to try to get your knees as high as you can. If the split jump is hard for you, you have tuck jumps, you have squat jumps, you have hinge jumps, you got all of it. All right, team. But try to do that split jump. We're gonna pause in between each one, so it'll allow you to load those hips. You ready, girlie?
Sounds good, girl.
Rested? All right, team. Grab that last sip of water if you need some. We're going to get started in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Clean, lateral lunge. Back down to the ground. Switch sides. Clean, lateral lunge. You got posturing up, keeping those abs tight. Use those glutes. Nice strong booties throughout this whole combination. 3, 2, 1. All right, team. So right into that downward dog to rotation. Get ready. We have a little bit of rest. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's get it, team. So downward dog, plank, rotation.
Oh, that feels really good.
Dog, right? It's like opening, strengthening all the little things. Back to downward dog. Down dog, plank, rotation. I like to lift the heels here, but you can also drive the heels into the mat. You can try both of them. The more the merrier, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But for sure, like that active stretch of lifting those heels if you're not used to that. Time, team. That one by quick. That one felt great.
Yeah,
right.
I could do that one for like a minute.
Right?
Felt good.
Dancing in it.
Yeah.
All right, team. Here it is. In 3, 2, 1. Remember, load the hips. Jump. Reset. Load the hips. Jump. Reset. Load the hips. Jump. Reset. We're about halfway. Try to land softly. Woo! Go, girl. 5
Still
seconds.
super strong.
Right? Time, team.
Nice.
Time. Take a little, another 10-second rest, all right? Woo! Get that weight ready. We're going to go in 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's go. Clean. Step out. Back to center. Stay long through that spine. Make sure on that clean, you're using those legs to initiate that lift, all right? Always comes from the legs. We're halfway there. Abs are tight, tight, tight. Trying to pull them in towards your spine. We're almost there. Time. That is time.
That one goes by super fast, too. All of them are.
Feel like time's speeding up.
Yeah.
Right, team, get down. Here we go. In 3, 2, downward dog to rotation. Let's go. Plank, rotation. Push back into downward dog. Plank, rotation. Woo, I almost lost myself there.
I love, and I'm sure you can attest to this, is like the balance between mobility work and strength and combining that into fluid movements like this one. It's perfection.
And like, for sure, time. It brings in that aspect of, having to use your mind as well, but for sure,
that
if
cognitive
you're at heart,
I love it.
I like that soul aspect in there too. All right, team. 3, 2, let's go. Load it. Jump. Land soft. Load fast. Jump high. Land soft. Load. Jump. Land. Load. Jump. Land. Think about landing on eggshells, team. Make it as delicate as you can. We have 10 more seconds. Come on, Eric. Time, team, time.
All right.
You got one
I
more
love
round
that.
of
Awesome.
All right, team. Take a breath. Let's get ready. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is our last round of this. Use those legs to initiate the clean. Keep those glutes engaged the whole time. Halfway, team.
Oh, I messed up. We're going. I don't know where I just was. But I was
You
like,
got
oh,
it.
this feels so good. What are you
Set it
doing? Go
slowly.
towards your weight.
Wherever you feel good. As long as it looks good. Time, team.
Okay. I'm with you, girl. Okay.
All right, take a breath. Woo! And 3, 2, press into your downward dog. Plank. Reach. Down dog. Plank. And reach. Make sure you're pulling in those abs here too. Squeezing the glutes. Lengthening through that spine. Making sure to create space in those shoulders like we were talking about. Let me check the time. All right, 3 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Might have given you an extra couple seconds, but it's for good gains. All right, team. Woo, calm down that heart rate. Take a breather. We're going to start in 5 seconds. Here it goes. 3, 2, 1. Load the jump. Go as high as you can. Halfway.
Awesome.
Remember, land soft.
I feel like a ninja or like a superhero whenever I do this. I love it.
Trying to save the world. One rep at a time.
Yeah.
Time. All right. Grab some water, team. We need it. And then Sarah's going to take over again.
Yes. Send us thumbs up if you're still with us, feeling good. And that's really all that we need to know right now. So we are going into our last block. The format will stay the same. 30 seconds on, 10 seconds rest, and we're doing 3 rounds. So first movement is a 2-handed clean into a mantis get up. That's your strength movement. And then you have a push-up step through, talking about that fine balance of a strength movement and some mobility. And then we have like agility sprint work with a lateral ollie shuffle. So movement. I'll show it both with a KB and then with a dumbbell. You want your weight as close to your body as possible. Your feet are going to be planted underneath your hips. You want to send your hips back. Same position that we were just in when we were jumping. Same position that we were in with our bent over rows. Yeah, so I was like, what was that first block? So here, you're going to zip up your coat, stand up fast, and then I step back to a tall kneeling position, stand up, and you can just alternate those legs every time. This is going to be the spicy part, trying to stand up, and you want your feet, your weight to be even. So take your time on that one. Second movement is a push-up to a step through. So you're going to come back into that high plank that we were just in, okay? A couple different options for this. Always, you can do your push-up on your knees, but I got to see the integrity of that plank position. So leading with that chest, shoulders forward, elbows back. You're going to step 1 foot forward. You're planted. Then I thread the leg forward.
Ooh.
The same hand movement as the kick-throughs. So plant, step through, and like we said, for that, you want to keep your weight even between those 2 positions. We never want to fall into that shoulder. That's going to be bad news bears down the road. So take your time with that one. We're not looking for high volume reps. We're always looking for quality, right? And then last movement, guys, is some agility sprint work. So you're going to keep your upper body close to your side, and you're slicing your feet like a scissor back and forth. You can alternate it side to side whenever you feel like it. I think it's that dance background, Franny, that I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 6, 2,
Oh my
3,
God,
4.
always.
So back
Your
home,
brain.
where whatever makes sense for your brain, we're going to be shuffling. We got 3 sets, and then we're going to cool it down. So this is our last block, guys. I'm going to get the clock going. One more sip, and I will alternate between a KB and a dumbbell, but the mechanics of the clean to mantis get up should remain the same.
And team, if we have at least like 5-10 minutes at the end, we'll have some time to answer questions. So there's a little text box there. Like if you click that little question mark, you'll be able to submit your questions for Sarah and I. All right.
Oh,
so
love that.
if you have a second in between your rests, all right, team? But we're going to get started.
All right, guys. First movement is that clean to mantis get up. We go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Out of the way. And then we take our time coming down to that half kneeling. Stand back up. Zip up that coat. Clench your butt cheeks. Then we come on down.
Hold in that heart that wants to come out. I'm kidding. The word
All right,
clench
guys.
always makes me think of that.
It's like not the most technical term and time, guys, but when I say it, it gets the best results. It works. All right, guys, push up with that step through. Here we go. In 3, 2, and 1, guys. Take your time. Long spine when you go into that mountain climber, and send the heel back.
Oh, push up. Oops. There we go.
Yeah. Push up can be on your knees, on your toes, guys. And like we said, going slower will actually make it a little bit harder. 3, 2, and rest, guys. Some agility sprint work.
Yes.
Lateral shuffles. I hope everyone else is sweating as much as I am right now.
Same.
And 3, 2, hit it, guys. It should be small footwork, guys. Very small but fast steps. Halfway. Can you increase that pace slightly? Keep it going. You guys have 5, 4, 3, 2, shake it out. Nice. You are so fast, girl, with those. That looks awesome.
I just
All
can't
right, guys.
imagine I'm Ollie.
I love it. Going into round 2. Should we go hit round 2, guys?
Do it.
We only have 2 more rounds. Mantis, get up. In 3, 2, 1, guys. Go. Pull it up. Back down.
Eric,
So
can you
now-
use that box that fell over? Sorry.
Okay, that's good. I thought you were just talking to me. I was like, I see that. How am I going to adjust the frame? No. So, guys, I'm using a dumbbell, and it's the same mechanics. You just want to hold on to the one head. All right? You're going to stand up fast, elbows drop, and we have just 5, 4, 3, 2, and time. Oh, beautiful, beautiful movement.
Love this circle. Circle. It feels like a circle.
Yeah, all of them have been like, oh, this is fun. Save it. I save all of them, and then I'll do it on another day. All right, guys, in 3, push up through and step through. Here we go, guys. It's that fine balance of a push-pull, working on some strength, working on your mobility and movement patterns, guys. That's the most important part when it comes to your training. Being efficient with your movement.
Yes, ma'am. Sarah has been a coach for a while, so Sarah knows that it's all about efficiency.
Yes, ma'am. And you guys can rest.
Woo!
Okay, we're going back into that agility work. Again, fast but small footwork in 3, 2, and hit it, guys. Let's go. Don't stay. Slicing those feet back and forth, nice and light. We're about halfway, guys, halfway. Good, keep pumping those elbows back as well. Less than 10. We have 3, 2, and shake it out, guys. Just shake it out. Take a little longer moment. We're going to go into our last step. All right, guys, so last one, and then we're going to cool it down. Max the skills. Make it your best one, guys. Enjoy your movement. Enjoy your work. All right, guys, because this is not easy. It's anything but easy. So just remind yourself that. And thank you for sticking with us, sticking it out. In 3, 2, clean, guys, go. Every rep should feel and look the same. So now that we know our patterns, we've been through this before, we want to focus on consistency. Do technique and athleticism. Oh, we have just 3, 2, and time, guys. Woo. Sometimes I like to just talk myself through the hard work. So then the time goes by a little bit faster.
Yeah, and that's how you make it look so good.
All right. Thanks, girl. Same with you. So we're going to go push up in 3, 2, 1, guys. Let's work.
One thing I love to think when I'm training too is smooth is fast. Or no, wait, what is it? Slow is smooth, smooth is fast, smooth is whatever you want it to be, pretty much. Beautiful, yeah. But slow is smooth, smooth is strong, whatever you want.
Love that. And we got just 10 seconds, guys. 3, 2, and shake it out, guys. Whew, nice. Last 30 seconds, and then we cool it down. Excellent, excellent work this afternoon, morning, evening, wherever we are. Back to those shuffles in 3, 2, and let's work.
For everybody that's out there in the United States, or even around the world, today is Run with Ahmad Day, pretty much. So we're running 2.23 miles in honor of solidarity around the country for equal rights. So put on a white shirt, go for a run, and use the hashtag #IRunWithAhmad.
I love that. Thank you. Thank you for just reminding all of us.
Thank you, guys.
Get out there. We have just 3, 2, time, guys. Time.
Woo!
Woo! Excellent, excellent work, guys. Grab some water, towel off, do your thing.
That was perfect workout.
Oh my God, just what I needed. I always feel like, you know, I'm sure you're with me with this, and it's harder being fitness professionals that, like, I think people just think we're ingrained of like, oh, we always love to work out and that's our life. But some days it's like, no, actually, I don't want to move. We're tired. But then once we like move a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, once we move a little bit, and it does, like, the intensity can vary day to day, and it should.
Yeah.
We always feel better having some kind of movement.
It's, you know, it's that honesty and humility as a coach, reminding people, you know, it's some days are hard. Some days you love it and you feel crazy and you want to jump out of bed doing it. Some days you got to tell yourself, you know, it's all about discipline. It's about discipline and, you know, creating lasting habits. Because it's, you know, you're not always going to feel perky. You know, if you have that mindset of like, oh my God, I want to wake up and feel like, woo, every day is going to be easy, then Earth isn't for you, y'all. I don't know what to say.
That's not reality at all. And honestly, I was feeling a little bit of that this morning, but so I'm so glad that we had each other to be accountable for today. I was like, you're going to move with Francesca, and you're going to feel much better. So thank you.
And what's
so
beautiful
much.
about these lives too, it's you have badasses over here pulling out like 60s and stuff, and you're like, what? You're like, I need to step up my game.
Yes. And one more thing, I guess I'll just add to that, and then we can like cool it down. It's like, that's the beauty of like training our body and our mind. It's like, once we think we've mastered movements, there's always something else that we can improve upon, and we can just keep growing and improving ourselves, and that should really be like the goal for when it comes to our wellness and our fitness.
Absolutely.
I'm just reading all of the messages now too, and it's fun to like see everyone.
Oh, we love you guys. Thanks for sticking it out. Don't go anywhere. We're going to cool down. This is the part that all of y'all stick. And as coaches, this is the most important part, I promise. So let's get to it.
Please. Okay, so stay with us.
We're going to go into a child's pose, all right? So remember, decompression is important because you're telling your nervous system, you're telling your body, all right, it's time to recover. It's time to, get better from this. So we're going to go into a child's pose. We're going to round our spine. So we're going to keep the arms straight as we round from our low back. I'm rounding, following the wave into my mid back, upper back as I squeeze my butt, drive my hips down, lift my chin up to the sky, and I'm creating space in those shoulders again. You're pushing the floor away from you, retracting those shoulders as you squeeze that glutes and lengthen through the spine. We're going to reverse this by tucking the chin, reversing the wave as we press through our upper back, mid back, all the way as we sit and round into our low back. So we're going to repeat that as we focus on our breath. So we're going to inhale, exhale, wave. Keep the arms straight. Inhale, exhale, wave. One more. Inhale, exhale, wave. Inhale, exhale, wave through your spine. All right, team. We're going to come back into that downward dog position. Let's pedal out those calves a little bit here. Think about softening those knees so you can focus on lengthening through that spine. We want to prioritize our spine and the health and integrity of those little joints in our spine, all right? So I'm going to lift my right leg, and then I'm going to bring my right knee to my right wrist. So we're going to come into a pigeon here. A little pigeon. So we're going to focus on stretching that right glute. I'm going to bring my chest closer to the mat and then back up. We're just going to drop our chest and come up. Try to focus on lengthening through that spine. So you don't have to go all the way down. So if you can just open up those tissues, and we're going to come down into our forearms. Breathe in here for a little bit. I'm going to sway side to side because my hips are tight.
Yeah.
I'm just swaying side to side, dropping the hip as I push onto the right side. All right, let's come back into that downward dog. Let's pedal out those calves again. Push the floor away from us. Lengthen or grip onto the mat. Widen out those fingers like Sarah was talking about earlier. You always want to keep that integrity in the hands. Lift the right leg, right knee to right wrist as you come into your pigeon. Woo! Try to press into that hip as you try to sit back into that hip that's floating. And then we're going to bring our chest down and up just a little bit. If you ever seen like lizards mating, they do this weird thing. So it always reminds me of that. But you're not trying to just go for a complete, flop over. See, if I flop over, my back starts rounding. I get more of a stretch if I actually keep the length in my spine. So if I actually try to keep my spine more straight and go for less range of motion, ironically, you get more of a stretch sometimes. So I love throwing those tips out there because for a lot of us that feel like we stretch and don't get a lot out of it, sometimes if you do more active stretches, you'll get more out of it. So elbows down, and then I'm going to rock here. So I'm actively pressing my left hip down just a little bit, trying to open up those tissues, You can even press that shin actively into the ground a little bit here. Woo!
That feels good.
Man, need it so bad. All right, team. Take one more breath here. We're going to push back into that downward dog. Woo! We're going to drop the knees. Bring in the hands a little bit as we come into a table tap. So whichever way you want to come into that tabletop. I did a little weird thing. Sarah's like, what did you do?
I'm here. I'm here.
So we're going to come into a tabletop. We're going to pull one arm back like you're pulling a bow and arrow. And then I'm going to thread this arm through this little window. So I'm going to pull the arm as far as I can in this window. And then I'm going to push off the floor with that base hand. So you're trying to twist through that spine. Woo! You might feel a stretch in the back of those shoulders. Woo. If your spine is tight, you might feel it in your spine like me. Oh, man. All right, switch sides. Pull that bow and arrow back on the opposite side. Pull your arm as far as you can. You can even like walk on the floor a little bit with that hand. Then we're going to push off the ground. And if you want to get more out of this stretch, you can even twist your hips in the opposite direction of your hands. So if your hand's reaching to your right, push your hips to your left just a little bit.
That feels good.
Right? Let's get one more on each side here too. Pull that elbow back. Reach through. Twist in the opposite direction of those hips. I feel like Laffy Taffy that's been in the freezer.
Mhm.
And other side. It's like I want to be all taut or I guess loose and whatever, but I'm actually taut and stiff.
Just it takes a while to thaw the Laffy Taffy out.
Right?
We're getting there though.
I've been going hard. All right, team, let's do one more stretch. So we're going to open up the hands and the wrists on this one. Let me adjust my view just a little bit. And to y'all that stayed through this decompression, just so you know, you're the real MVPs and your body loves you. I still didn't get a better view, but we're going to walk our hands. There we go. Kind of. We're going to walk our hands forward, just like think millimeter at a time. You're not even going an eighth of an inch at a time. So I'm slowly like peeling one hand forward a little bit more as we're walking those hands forward. Remember, only go within your capacity. You don't want to go so far that you start telling your nervous system, we're in a dangerous, capacity. You want to say, this is safe, this is all right. You feel like it's too intense, then you want to back off just a little bit. And I say that all the time because sometimes I do it to myself, guys. All right, team.
Exactly.
So,
been guilty of that.
Right?
Oh, that feels so good.
Hope y'all feel
So good.
great. Remember to drink a lot of water, especially if you're training outdoors. All right, let's see. Somebody says, does Eric own a top?
That's so funny.
I do his laundry, so I encourage the no t-shirt wearing because he goes through a lot of laundry.
Just like,
All right.
Don't wear a shirt.
So we got a couple questions about fitness. Somebody says best exercises for quads and glutes. Is that what it was? Yeah, let us know if you guys have any questions here. The best way to do is use that little question box because sometimes they get lost in here.
Yeah, that's what. Best for quads and glutes.
All the exercises.
all of the I would say all the main the big compound lifts front squat is more quad dominant. So doing that, and it can be with any tool, either a barbell or a kettlebell or a dumbbell.
Or human.
Back squat, you'll get it's more glute dominant than quad dominant, so need to do that also. And that could be with a barbell, that could be with a backpack, that could be with a sandbag. It doesn't matter how, play around with how you load your body. But I'm also a big fan for walking lunges, whether it's barbell or racked farmers, that's going to hit your glute, your quads, your hamstrings, your calf.
And even those stabilizers too, everything, right? Because you're walking in that single leg.
So hitting that also would be like if you wanted to do your back squat as your main lift and then your strength too, incorporating some like walking lunges, because it also doesn't, you can't, because you're doing a single-sided movement, you can't load the body as much, so it's not as much stress. But then I always find I can't sit down or go up and down stairs the next day.
Honestly, and especially too, bodybuilders do all types of exercises as well, to try to get those gains. And bodybuilders love walking lunges because they really do help get that hypertrophy effect in those muscles. Eric too, he says we went on that run today, and he was saying that his butt's so big from going uphill. So if you want to even like do some uphill walking lunges, that would be killer.
That would be good. Step ups, same thing. So what do we just give them? We gave them like 4 movements, so a front squat, a back squat, but then always.
What about a hip thrust?
Hip thrust would be great for glute for sure. Trinity, did you do those a couple of days ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love those. Those, if you want some like booty gains and like glute work, hip thrust. And it doesn't put as much like tension on your spine as like a deadlift. So do those. Those are great. Any other questions to do?
So someone says that they pulled their groin getting out of the car the other day. I'm guessing they're saying like, what should I do? My thing is sometimes you don't give rest enough credit. With something like that, you might have to rest it out. I know we never like it.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. With any pulled muscle, guys, you can't unfortunately do much aside from resting. So just resting it after a few days, if it's feeling better, start warming up that area and then light stretches. But pulled muscles, really, you can only rest. I know that's hard for a lot of us.
As soon as you start feeling better, really light resistance band exercises, like so light that you're like a 1-year-old can do it. When I say light, like the yellow one in the gym that like nobody uses, like that light, just to help. We've been talking a lot about the nervous system, just to tell your body, hey, this is getting safer. It sounds woo-woo for a lot of us, but a lot of the way your body works is just your connection to your body, your nerves. We're more like a robot than you'd think, like pretty much. So you always want to make sure that your software and everything like connecting to your software and hardware is in good condition. All right. So we're all robots here. Beep boop. Somebody said, how often can you work the same muscles a day? Well, I'm bad at reading, guys. Sorry. How often can you work the same muscles? Yeah. So I guess, can you train the same muscles every day?
It depends on how your training is. Like, I know that no one likes hearing it depends, but training is not black and white. There is so much gray when it comes to training, and every human body is built differently, and we also have very different goals. So that it depends on how you are training it. If you're doing a lot of like body weight movement and it's at like a moderate volume, meaning like anywhere between an 8 to 16 reps per set, and you're doing around 3 to like even 4 to 5 steps, and it's mainly body weight at a moderate weight, sure. Like, can I swing like every day at a moderate weight? Yeah. Can I do ring rows every day? Sure. Can I do pull-ups every day? No, it's too much stress on my body, and it's saying rest. Like if you're going for the compound lift, like your deadlift, your back squat, front squat, your benching, your strict overhead, depending on the intensity that you're doing those movements. Like if you're up at like 90, 85% of your intensity and pulling some heavy doubles and triples, you only need to hit those movements once a week. But then like going into more accessory work, like the walking lunges, the step ups, the push-ups we could probably do every day. I think that's totally fine. Plank work. What are your thoughts on when it comes to, it was like, how often do we train, or is it okay to train every day?
I personally train full body every day, so
Okay.
I'm right there with Sarah, you know?
Yeah.
For sure, same movement pattern. Just, I mean, for the sake of like not going insane, we need variability sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
And it's great for your body too. Keeps your body
And
guessing.
I like, yeah, having that variety, but like it still is semi-structured. And I'm the same way with you of like doing a total body. Let's be efficient with our time when it comes to training. We're all athletes in our own way, but most of us we're working out and training because we want more like a healthy lifestyle, increase in our energy, how our bodies feel good. We're not elite athletes competing for a certain competition. So I think training, you are able to train those same muscles pretty daily, but always making sure that you are taking rest days so we don't actually train them every single day.
Remember, like 10 years ago, like it was like if you were in a gym, everyone's like, "Hey, what are you training for? Hey, you're doing a competition." So I love how just like in a little short amount of time, just being in the fitness world, you know, consistently for this long, you can see that, you know, people are really, these leading voices are making a difference, and people are like, "Shit, I just want to feel better," you know?
Yeah, I think like we could even, I mean, you just reminded me of this, like promoting that more and encouraging that more, because even now, I'll still have people or members that I see, and I work in a pretty high intensity facility that's a mixture of CrossFit and durability work and like Olympic lifting. And those members, they'll ask me like, "What are you training for?" And I like life people.
Yeah.
I train for life because I want to move well when I'm in my 80s, and I still want to be able to run and lift and get up and down off the floor. So reminding everyone that we are training for life and longevity. It might make people approach their training a little bit differently, but for the better.
And we haven't gotten kicked off, and we keep getting questions coming in, so we'll answer some questions if you have time, Sarah.
Yeah,
so
sure.
We have another question, great one that came in. It says, what do you focus on when you're trying to design a flow and strength workout or program?
Flow and strength.
So I feel like today we did, today's focus was flow and strength. So how would you say we went about that?
Yeah, so today's programming, I wanted to focus on like a total body, so hitting and making it more compound movements, like we did a clean into a lateral lunge. I also make sure that we're hitting a push, a pull, a hinge, a squat, and then I wanted a piece that was body weight of a combination of like core but still mobility. So that's when we did the down dog into rotational length, right? Or the push-up into the step-through. Going into that step-through, it requires us to work on our hip mobility and our knee flexion. So that was that was the focus of today's program. And when programming, whether it's a KB flow or a body weight, I'm going to stick with KB flow of like finding the balance of like, all right, are we hinging too much? Is there too much pulling? Oh, let me get an overhead press. I want to go a little bit heavier on my flow, so I probably won't be doing strict presses, but I'll be snatching it instead, or I'll have to push press. If I want to go a little bit lighter and maybe do like bottoms up work, okay, now I can do my strict press. So having a focus, setting up what is the focus first, and then is it well balanced with those movement patterns of a push, a press, a squat, a hinge, maybe there'll be a carry in there.
No, yeah, absolutely. So if for all of y'all that aren't familiar with movement programming, so pretty much the way Sarah and I both program is that we always make sure we have a hinge and a squat, all right? And then you want to make sure that so you're always opposing things. So you're making sure you're balanced. It's kind of like a balanced program. So you have pushing and pulling, and that's a way to keep it really simple. And then like if you want to get more sophisticated and you're more like sophisticated with programming, then you make sure you have like hangs in there. You make sure you have carries in there, and rotation. Rotation is huge.
Yeah.
Everybody needs rotation. Rotation's not
anti-rotation.
Anti-rotation, counter rotation. Then you can get really fancy.
Yeah.
Let's
And I
see.
think that's, oh yeah, go to another one or else I could just keep trailing off. Let's do another one.
All right. So yes, we're gonna have more of these in the future, team. Sarah's gonna be hosting some as well, so make sure you go and
Yeah.
follow her. She's a badass. She really loves flow work. I know some of y'all here really love flow work. So go check her out.
Yeah.
She's a well-rounded athlete, like we've been talking about. So you'll see everything there.
Do
How
I?
about this? Yeah,
Is
you
it
can have
helpful? Here, I'm just going to send my handle. Can we, I don't know how to pin it though. But just so if
type
people.
in a message. Oh, there you go. And then I'll pin comment. There you go.
Cool.
So that's her page right there. So
Awesome.
she's underscore coach underscore Sarah. And then somebody said, what are the beginner animal flow? Sorry, a lot of us are foreign here. And then I'm reading it perfectly. No. What are some good animal flow exercises you would recommend for newbies?
I'm gonna let you. Yeah, I'm gonna let you take that one because you are the queen bee with that movement.
So you always got to put in a plug. So check out my programs. I offer free programs. I have full in-depth instructional programs. So I always make sure you're getting your value out of that. So my instructional programs, it's like I'm there with you. But I always suggest focusing on A, B, C. All right. So I have a YouTube video on this as well. So A, B, C. A is for ape, to keep it simple. So you have a whole bunch of different variations of this. So focusing on just getting in your deeper squat position. You can move this movement laterally. If you stuck through this workout, you saw we did some lateral movements. And then B is for beast, all right? And then you can do those side kick throughs we were doing. So that's an easy animal flow workout. And then C is for crab. So just to get that concept in there, A, B, C. So ape is like a squat position. B is like a beast position. So you're on a quadruped position. And then C is the opposite of that. That's like when you're facing upwards, all right? So C would be crab. Just keep it simple. Just playing with those 3 easy concepts. That's a great base to kind of start on your own animal flow practice. And go check out that animal flow video that I have. It's ABCs of animal flow, I think, on my YouTube, all right? My YouTube is just my handle, so it's the same thing. All right, you want to do one more question, Girlie?
Sure, let's do it.
One more question for y'all. Let's see. And yes, we are going to save this workout. What exercises do you recommend with kids?
Okay. So I've had experience training with working with youth. I also have clients that are older, like 65 plus. And then I work with a lot of average age 30s, like young professionals, and that are like elite athletes. I train them pretty much the same. Depending on where they are, the approach is slightly different, but I think it doesn't matter what age you are, whether you're younger or you're older. Always focusing on having a strength piece. Obviously, you'll load we're never going to max out for kids, obviously, but teaching them the foundations and fundamental movement patterns.
Like, let's say you're doing the same exercises, they can do the same thing with a 5-pound and be completely safe. You know, kids are a lot stronger and resilient than you think. Of course, you want to make sure that their form is good. And some kids naturally are just great movers. So most kids are great movers. So kind of how we were just trying to tie everything full circle, we were talking about a movement practice. All right. So remember, just having a squat, a hinge, a push, a pull, some rotation. All right. And that's just universal for all humans, and even dogs do like these workouts sometimes. If you go deep into the internet, you'll see some crazy stuff, guys. I don't think they can do pull-ups though.
No, not yet. I love it. So funny.
For real, I saw a dog doing handstands the other day, girl, for rep.
That's wild.
The cutest thing ever.
That's so cool.
And skateboarding.
Yeah, dogs like to skateboard. So basically, it doesn't matter your age or where you are, movement we gotta keep moving and keep training.
Yes,
I love
love
that.
it. All right, guys, so go follow my friend Coach Sarah. You won't regret it. She is super sweet. She's super freaking badass, and she's a great inspirational woman who is, I mean, I personally love women who like do more than they speak or like lead by action. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
freaking true role models. So I love her. She inspires me all the time. So go check her out.
Same. I think we're along those lines, and we practice what we preach and we live what we do. And so that's why I'm like truly grateful that we're able to collaborate and come together and move together, because you inspire me and to continue to empower others to go off and do the same thing. You're just such a rock star. So super fun that we're able to do this. And I know there's questions on like if we're doing more, why not?
Yeah, let's do it.
So we'll do it again. And yes, thank you guys so much. And I love the questions too, because it's one thing to work out, but the fact that we are curious and wanting to learn more is, I think, first, and that's going to help you stay motivated and keep asking questions.
Yeah, so
learning.
Always shoot us a DM. We're always here to help empower the world, to help, get your questions answered, all right? That always gets us, like Sarah was saying, more passionate in what we're doing, all right? The more you know, the merrier.
Yes, ma'am. All right, girl. Well, have an amazing day. Eric,
You too.
keep getting swole back there, and we will see you all soon. Thank you guys so much. Y'all are awesome.